You make sure that we're recording right now. And for anyone, if someone, maybe just passed you the link to today's webinar and you have no idea how they found this, how they accessed these success meetups, I'm going to point out where that is first and foremost, because we do hold these every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and the topics vary week to week. So just wanted to point out, well, actually, we'll start in the kvCORE platform. Here's a little example of my kvCORE demo account here. If I head on over to our live training calendar here on the right hand side in my kvCORE training module, open that on up. Just know that to access our live webinars, you just choose the time zone which best applies to you. I'm located in California, so I'll go ahead and click that here. And this is available, as I mentioned, every Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. A little overview of this. Tuesdays and Thursdays are held by our training team, so they tend to cover more kind of kvCORE basics. Wednesdays will tend to be more advanced with our done for you services team, tend to cover more kind of advanced marketing strategies, things like that, a little bit more out of the box. And every single week, our trainers or our done for you services team will choose the topics which they decide to present on. I want to let you guys know we really rely on your input for this. So if you have suggestions, ideas, love to, take a deep dive on a particular subject, feel free to let us know in the chat, or if you're filling out the surveys afterwards. We really rely on that feedback to help us figure out, which topics, which information is most interesting, most relevant to you. So feel free to let us know. I will let you know that we do typically post each week's topics in our Facebook group. So another handy thing about this training calendar link is there's an option right here to join our Facebook group. I'll go ahead and, just because I mentioned it, I'll pop that link in the chat for you guys. Facebook.com/groups. Sorry, I had something else going on in my there we go. facebookgroups.com/groups/conversion. So I'll pop that in the chat for you guys if you do want to join. A great resource to synergize with like-minded individuals, share your success stories, ask more questions. And as I mentioned, we do tend to post the kvCORE success meetup topics in that Facebook group for you guys. So if you ever want to know beforehand what topics will be covered, that's a good resource for you. All right. Also, because I mentioned that this webinar is recorded, I want to let you guys know one more link I'll share it with you guys. This recording does eventually get added. They all get added to our YouTube channel just for the Success Meetup webinars specifically. So I'll also share out our YouTube channel for you guys just so you have it handy. And because I really, really, really love resources, I'm going to share one more before we get this ball rolling here today. Every time I specifically host a success meetup, which I'll back up a step because I don't know that I introduced myself. My name is Mariel Ortiz, and I'm a product trainer here at Inside Real Estate. But every time I host one of these success meetups, I create a handy little cheat sheet for you all as well. So, or, you could call this my agenda sheet, whatever you'd like to call it. I'll call it agenda in the chat, and I'll add this link here. And this is just a fun one to bookmark. I create one every time I hold a success meetup. It's going to contain kind of not only like an agenda of what I'm going to be covering, it's going to have links to various support articles on those topics if you need to take a deeper dive than what I'm touching on in the success meetup webinar itself. Additionally, I like to add in a little challenge. Hey, now that you've learned this, try it out for yourself. I've got other helpful articles linked, our social media links options. I usually have a QR code to our marketplace if you're looking for marketplace suggestions. And typically, just so you don't have to wait until the video is posted on YouTube, if you're a little bit busy today and you feel like your attention's a little bit divided, but you want to make sure that you catch everything I'm saying here today, I typically post the recording link here as well. So give me a couple hours or so. By the end of today, once that video renders through Zoom, I'll make sure to add the recording link here as well if you need to catch this information again. All right. I think that's enough beginning resources. Let's jump into the fun stuff. Let's jump into today's topic, which is some quick and easy ways to update your kvCORE website for the holiday. Whether you're just want to make it a little bit wintry, or whether you really want to make it Christmas themed, whatever's most relevant to you. I will let you know we actually have a support article that talks about adding falling snow to your website homepage and adding a holiday background video. Now we're going to take a deep dive on that article today. I'm going to break it down piece by piece. It's pretty easy to add this information in there. If you have the link to the article, which I did share out in my little agenda here, it actually has the code for the falling snow in there. So we'll insert that into our website settings. I've also included a link to the website settings overview, so you know how to not only adjust things like adding in the falling snow, but if you want to go change things like your custom background colors, which I've also done to my website, if you want to add in a YouTube video as a background video, or if you just want to do an image. I'm going to kind of give you a broad example here today, but feel free to kind of make this your own, personalize it however you see fit. Some things I will recommend as well, some pro tips I'll acknowledge here as well. We do encourage you, if you already have, say, a YouTube video playing on your kvCORE background, or if you have a background image that you really enjoy, I would make yourself a little note before you make these changes of what you had prior, so you know how to get back to those settings once the holidays are over. Additionally, we're going to talk about adding a YouTube link as a background video to your website. But just know you can use the entire YouTube link in, say, a scheduled mass emails for the holidays. So I'm definitely feeling, the holiday spirit this season. So I've definitely created some scheduled mass emails in my account to send out everybody a little holiday message. And just something we like to let you guys know. You can include those in your messages as well. And then, of course, you can set yourself reminders at the end of the holiday year. You can have it, just before New Year's. You can have it after New Year's, whatever makes sense to you. But just a little pro tip to set yourself a reminder to remove the falling snow and the winter background when you're no longer using it. So you can obviously add that as an alert in your phone or your calendar. You can have your calendar display on your kvCORE desktop, or you can create yourself a task reminder. You can, if you've got a test lead in kvCORE, create a little task reminder on your test lead to remind yourself to go back and update this. So there we go. That's kind of an overview of our topics here today. I also want to emphasize that this is also going to be open Q&A. So if you have questions as we go along as to anything that I'm talking about here today, feel free to pop those in the chat. I'll also try to make sure we have time towards the end for just open Q&A, whether it be about today's topic or something else kvCORE related. I want to be here as a resource. And if I can't answer your question today, I'll make sure to point you to all the resources or all the potential sources for those questions. All right, so jumping on in, I'm going to start with just kind of a little demo of kind of a holiday update to the websites. So what I did here, you can see that falling snow going on my website. You can see I've added a little YouTube background that isn't offering. We have this kind of pre-selected in our support article. I'll go over the support article in depth. There's a couple different videos that are linked. Now you don't have to just use the videos that are linked in the support article. Really, you could use any YouTube video. I do recommend, if you're searching for YouTube videos, search for something like free stock video or free stock holiday video. Just to make sure there's no issues with using another person's YouTube video. One thing I will warn you, if you are using another person's video, just know all the ones that we've included in our support article will probably be up on YouTube till the end of time, so you can always access them. Be wary that, if you're hosting someone else's YouTube video or using that as your background, if they do decide to take that video down, it will disappear from your background. So just something to be wary of if you're using a different background video. You can also just use decide to do kind of a standard holiday image, I'm a really big fan of, what's a good link for that? I think it's called, I want to say Pixels. It'll show up when I go and type it in there. There's a regular one that I use. But for Pexels, that's the one I'm looking for. There we go. So sorry. My brain's all over the place here today. But Pexels is a really good one. If you're looking for free stock images, they actually have a lot of holiday images right now. I know everybody loves the video on your website background. It's definitely a showstopper, but if you ever get the feedback that, maybe you've got some clientele that have slower internet and they're saying that your website's running a little bit slower than usual. Some people just prefer to have a video in the background as opposed to a video, so personal preference here. But they have, I would say Pexels is a great resource, and they have lots of different holiday backgrounds to choose from. Pretty easy to go and filter for kind of a horizontal or a landscape image. And we'll go check out website settings in kvCORE as well, and it will tell you the exact dimensions that they do recommend. If any of these video or these photos are a little bit too large, you can go and adjust which part of the photo it does capture for your background. So we'll play around with it. We'll have some fun here today. Obviously, I've already got this all set up. I even customized my background color as well. Nice, vibrant kind of holiday green. But we'll play around with all the settings and just have fun in here today. So let me go and share. Now, this is in my agenda, but just because I really like links, if you're not quite sure where to click, I'll post the support article itself. Just because I'm like to be really, really thorough. If you're not sure where to find support articles in kvCORE, well, first of all, if you went and you clicked on this link or any of the links that are in my little agenda I popped in the chat earlier, just know you could bookmark this and you can type right in here in the little search bar anytime you need to for any article you're looking for and pull them all up. But if you're looking for our support center of all our articles just in general, I'll point out real quick, support center is accessible right here through support and training. But what we're going to do here today is we're going to follow right along with the instructions on our handy support article. Very appreciative of our IRE professionals and coaching and engagement team to create things like this. We also have another article that's created for Halloween, and that I think was just actually, I want to say, created this year. So I'm hoping that they're going to come up with more holidays support articles. Maybe we'll do something fun like this come, Valentine's Day or Easter or something fun like that. Just a nice way to, show your personality on your website. I think a lot of clients and consumers kind of appreciate it as well. So animated snow is a very easy thing to do. I'm going to talk about Web and IDX tab in your kvCORE platform. You just go to the website settings. I'll show you exactly where to go. But to make it very, very easy, they have the code already in here. So you're actually going to copy this code, the whole little code, and that's where we're gonna grab that. We're gonna paste it into your Web and IDX settings. Now, if I have any admins that are currently on the call, just so you know, you're going to have an extra step in your account. I'm working currently from an agent account, so I'm just affecting my own personal website. But if you as an admin decide that you want to have this effect, trickle down to your agent's websites, just know that you can choose kind of from your drop-down menu, maybe update, and a parent site, like one of your office sites, and have that trickle down to your agent's websites, or trickle down by to the child sites by selecting that. So little side thing, if you wanted to do that as an admin. Of course, if you're doing that for all of your agents, you probably want to make sure you've got a reminder so you update it at the end of the time afterwards as well. You want to make sure to go back and remove that so you don't have falling snow on your website all year long. Unless, maybe you live in a snowy climate, maybe you just like that kind of thing. I'm going to go and click on Web and IDX here in my navigation tools on the left. This is where I go to make all sorts of personalizations, customizations to my website. Now, your kvCORE websites are typically ready to go right out of the box. You know, they're connected to your MLS, they're connected to an IDX feed. You can drive your customers or consumers there. They can search for listings in real time like a real estate agent. There's not really much you have to do the website. So this is all kind of just fun stuff, ways to make it your own, make it personalized. So from Web and IDX, and if you guys have other, would love other suggestions on ways that you can easily personalize your website, I'll point out pretty easy to start a blog through kvCORE, add in your testimonials, connect Zillow reviews, add custom pages, but we're just going to play around with edit settings here today. So I'll go and I'll click on that. What's really nice about this edit settings section, there's a lot of selections here. So a couple of pro tips I'm going to share with you guys if you ever decide to make edits to your website editing settings. We do try to make it easy, but obviously you've got a lot of choices here. It may be a little tricky navigating your first time knowing where to go. So a couple things I'll point out. There's a little video up here that if you watch it, it's going to explain what the different options are. You also have ways to easily navigate kind of on that left side bar. So if you're looking to go just to your testimonial section, your templates, just your custom navigation or your listing carousels, you want to mess with analytics, there's ways to jump around here. Another little pro tip that I really am a big fan of, if you're working on your computer and you look down at your keyboard and you do, I believe it's Control and the F key. It's going to pop up that little find bar. I'm sure most of you guys are probably familiar with this, but I find that this is really helpful here if I'm just looking for something specific, like if I want to add in, say, a YouTube background. If I type in YouTube, it's going to take me directly to any spot where I would add in a YouTube background video. So very handy tool. You'll probably see me use Control F a couple times here today. All right, so we're starting right at the beginning. Ooh. And we're adding our snow to our custom headers. Now, I could scroll down. I could be scrolling for a really long time to find my custom headers. It's, you know, about a third of the way down. Or again, I could use that Control Find and I could type in the words custom header and it would lead me directly here. Now, all I did was I used that support article again. I copied that entire code that's listed there, went to my web and IDX, went to my website settings, and I just pasted that right in there. After you go and you paste in your script, so let me double check that I didn't just double paste it there. There we go. Yep, it's working correctly. And I just hit save. It's really that easy to do. At the end of the season or when you're ready to remove falling snow from your website, just remember you're going to go back to, I mean, if you have that support article handy, I would recommend bookmarking it. You just kind of follow those results in reverse. You go to Web and IDX, your website settings, go to custom header, and instead of adding it in there, you just go and you remove it, delete, and save. As long as you hit the save button, you should be able to go back to your website, refresh it, and it will have been removed. So pretty easy to get rid of the falling snow. One additional thing I will point out about adding falling snow to your website, just so it doesn't startle you if you know this is your first time, you know, playing with these kind of add-ons to your website, is if you're using things like our free lead generation tools, like maybe you're building out a landing page, keep in mind those are utilizing your website. They're driving traffic to your website, or they're, you know, capturing leads through the website that go into your kvCORE Smart CRM. So you can see also my landing pages have snow for the holiday season. So just something to be aware of. It is a package deal. I changed my custom headings, and that's adding snow not only to my website, but any landing pages I create through kvCORE. So just something to be aware of. All right. So now that we've added our snow to our website background, pretty quick and easy, as you saw, we're going to get into adding a holiday background. Now, for the holiday background, it's the same area Web and IDX. We're already in edit settings section. And as I showed earlier, when I did my little Control F and I typed in YouTube, it's taking me right to adding a background video. All you need is the YouTube ID to populate that here. It's under the template sections if you decide to use the little clickable options. If you're using rather than Control F, you're using this little option here on the right. It's under templates. So in our support article, we've already included some YouTube videos and their YouTube ID. So when you're adding a YouTube video as a background video for your website, just know you don't want to add in the whole YouTube link. You're just using the YouTube ID. So it's that little code that typically comes right after the equal sign in that YouTube link. So you're not using the whole code. That's just helpful. Think about it. If you go look at a YouTube video, you'll typically get some advertisements and things first beforehand. Using just a little coding helps remove that. So you're not getting those YouTube advertisements on your website. You're just getting the little video itself. Now this video does loop and it's not going to include sound. So just so you are aware of that. Now, if you do also add in a YouTube video, just know it's going to replace any background images that you may have previously had on your website. Typically, if you're adding in background video or background photos, to your website, it is kind of saving all those photos, whether you're using kind of a kvCORE default. I'm going to just scroll up here to your photo section. There's a little background image section kind of towards the top. It includes all of our kvCORE defaults. If you're currently using a kvCORE default, that photo should still be saved there. So it's pretty easy, later on down the road when you want to go switch it back, you can just go and scroll through our library of photos to go and switch it back to how it was. Or you can, maybe you are using a custom photo. It'll typically save your custom photos in here as well. You can see I've added some for the holidays as well. So I believe that background image library is pretty expansive. I think it's still gotten here. I think I've got a couple photos that I added in for Halloween as well. I think if I scroll through here long enough, I've got some Halloween photos in here as well. So it's saving your history for you. If you ever have some images you're never going to use, feel free to delete them, clear some space. So if I'm adding YouTube video into the platform, just know it's going to entirely replace the photo image. If you decide to use a photo image, and maybe you selected more than one photo, just know that it can sometimes do kind of a slideshow effect, where if you go and refresh the page, it may show a different photo image. So we're adding in a YouTube video here by using that YouTube ID. We explained, it's just the little coding after that equal symbols. And we've got some links available for you here. So I think right now I'm probably using that very first one. So if you want to view all the YouTube links beforehand, don't worry, I've got sound turned off. Oh, I guess I don't have the first one. So there's a couple different holiday options for you. Some cocktails and gingerbread. We've got some options for wishing you a prosperous new year. This one's a pretty cute one. I think this might be a newer ad one because I feel like I might have added this one as my background video had I known about it. But there's many different selections. Feel free to click through the YouTube links, view the ones that are available. Again, these are the ones that are hosted by us at Inside Real Estate. So you'll know that these will never disappear from YouTube. They will always be available as long as this support article is available. I think actually the one that I grabbed here, if you're looking for my specific background, is Gingerbread House's Single Family Home. So I don't even have to go to YouTube. Again, I like to just have these links handy so I can view the video when I'm picking one out. Again, you can use those YouTube videos, maybe include them in a scheduled mass email, a little holiday email. Oh yeah, absolutely. If you're looking for the support article that I'm reviewing right now, I'll pop it in the chat for you guys again. Looks like someone jumped in just a little bit late and they weren't able to access it, so I popped it in the chat for you again. But yes, so if I'm just adding this to my background, I don't even have to mess with the YouTube video. We've already grabbed the YouTube ID for you. So easy. So I think actually I'll switch it up this time because I really liked that wishing you a prosperous new year. So let's go and switch it up. I'm going to copy this code instead. That was the second video I showcased. And I'm going to head back to my kvCORE platform. Remember, I went and I searched for YouTube, so it was easy to find. Or again, it's under the template section. And I will go and I will post in my new YouTube ID. And all I have to do is hit save. And these changes, every once in a while, I've seen a lag, but it's pretty instantaneous. So let me go head back to my kvCORE website and I will refresh it. And after a brief but dramatic pause, we're going to see an updated video. Let's see. It's thinking about it. It's thinking real hard. My internet's deciding to be a little bit slow. While we're waiting for this to load up, a little reminder, if I have anyone who's, there we go. So yeah, so it's got a background video. For my customization for my website, my name is popping up right here in the middle of the screen, and I'm not quite enjoying how that looks like with the text right behind it. Depending on how you got your kvCORE website set up, I know we've got a bunch of different people on the call here. You might have different customization. You know, your name and title might be appearing somewhere else on your website. So this background image might not be in the way for that website, for your specific website. So it'll vary from website to website. But yeah, in hindsight, now that I've tested out, I might go and switch it to a different video, but that's how you go and you test it out. You try it. It was pretty easy to do. So it's pretty easy for me to change it to something else. Maybe instead of a YouTube video this time, maybe we'll add a holiday photo as my background here. So I'll just quickly grab, for anyone who showed up late, I recommend if you just want a photo image rather than a video. I mean, there's lots of ways that you can find photo images. I always recommend if you're looking for free photo images to make sure to search that way. So something like free stock holiday photos, something like that. There's a lot of different options that you'll find. Make sure you're choosing the free one, but I'm personally a big fan of Pexels. So let's see, I think I've got Pexels up here. I've got some cute holiday backgrounds. Maybe I just want to keep it simple with something like a wreath or some gingerbread cookies, a Christmas tree, whatever the case may be. We'll go ahead, we'll grab the Christmas tree here, just the first one I saw. And I went and I downloaded it. There we go. It's on my computer. So rather than doing a YouTube video this time, let's go. I'm going to scroll to the top because our photos are pretty much at the top of the screen here. So it's typically under General. If you're looking at the navigation sections, we've got your template, your widget layout. Here's how you adjust custom colors right here. And then these are your existing library of background videos, or sorry, background images. Let me clarify. It's going to save a library of images, won't save a library of videos. Clarification there. But here we go. I'm going to go and upload a photo image. It does recommend, specific sizing for best results. So we'll test this out. I'll see how it works. I might have to adjust which area of the photo it's displaying on my website. But I can, click to grab a video or a photo from my computer that I've got downloaded, or since I've just downloaded this, I can actually drag it over here. It's going to load on up. And if I want to, I can click the little edit button if I want to adjust what area it does showcase. Maybe I want the top of the tree or the bottom of the tree. I think I kind of don't mind that it cuts off the top of this tree. I don't mind. I think I'd just rather have it showcase the center. So I'm going to hit confirm here. And then of course you have to upload as well. So one extra step there, make sure you're uploading it. And it's going to take a second. You're going to see that the image upload was successful. Your website settings are saved. And then if you look at your photo library, that's probably going to showcase it at the top. Now, something to be aware of, if you do have a different photo currently selected, it typically keeps the photo that you have selected. So I did have a different Christmas photo selected previously. I'm going to unselect that if I just want this one to be the one that it always shows. So I select the photo I want to keep, hit save here. It's going to say that it saved my background images, and then I'll go and I'll refresh my website. Oh, and I promised I would back up a little bit for anyone who's brand new here and you're still not even sure how to find your kvCORE website. Right here, little hidden menu in the upper right-hand corner where your name will be located. It's that little globe icon. It's that third option down. So for anyone who's, we get all sorts of different people joining these success meetup webinars. So depending on where you are, and you know what? I think I forgot to add my remove my YouTube background. So 1 second, we're going to back up as well. It will always prioritize the YouTube background over the photo image. So if you have anything in that YouTube box, you got to remove it if you want the photo to show instead. So I'm again going to do Control F here. We're going to run. Oh, sorry. I'm going to keep YouTube. Sorry. There we go. YouTube. Not very good at typing and talking at the same time. Apparently I can't multitask, but I'm going to make sure to remove that, save it. And now we should have our photo image displaying instead. So something to be wary of. If you have anything in that YouTube box, it's going to prioritize the YouTube over your photo image. There we go. I've just adjusted it. And now I have a little handy, or have my cute little tree as my background photo image as well. Not included in the support article about the photo image, but photo images, it tends to be a little bit less complicated just to pop your video in there. I think most of you guys have experienced at one time or another where you've loaded an image somewhere online. But it does include all those links to the YouTube options that we suggest for you. So really great resource for you guys. Feel free to use this article. It shows you just about everything that I did here today. So you can do it on your own time. One other thing I might showcase that's not included in the article, but if you really want, full and complete package, if you want to say adjust your custom colors to go along with the rest of your website. Now, do be careful if you have specific rules for your brokerage or compliance, or you need a specific, brokerage standard color or photo image or something like that. Do make sure that any changes that you're making is approved and is okay with your brokerage. But I always think it's fun to adjust my custom colors to go along with my background as well. Right now, it's not too different. We've got a holiday green. It's working with it. But if I really want to personalize this, I'll show you where custom colors are as well. It's right above where we added in our photo. There we go. So primary color is right here. And we see I've got a green selected. If I go and click on that, what's handy is not only can I just randomly choose a color, not only could I type in the hex code if I knew the specific numbers of the colors, there's also a little water droplet option here as well, a little dropper option that I can hover over if I want to capture a specific color. So this is really handy if I have my photo already selected and I'm trying to pick a color that's from my photo. I like to just click on the dropper and hover over my photo. Maybe I want to capture a specific red or a specific green as my background. Feel like red's a little bit intense. We'll try it both ways just for fun. And then I'm going to open up, since this is all I'm showcasing here today. After this, I'm going to open up to, just open questions for you guys. So if you have a specific question that you came here to receive an answer for today, start popping those in the chat because we're going to answer some questions here real quick. But I went and I grabbed a red shade. I'll go ahead and I'll save it. We'll see what it looks like. I might change it to green as well. Red's a little in your face, but very festive. Let's see what it looks like after I go and refresh this. And I love this. I love how quick the changes are that I'm making to the website. I'm not going to lie, that red's a showstopper. When you're adjusting the custom colors, it's not just adjusting your search and the little banners, but when you go to your search tab as well, it's adjusting those custom colors for the words. It's adjusting the custom colors typically for the banners here as well. That little chat with me feature I have in the corner is adjusting those colors. So it is all over when you're adjusting those custom colors. So just something to be aware of. If, I know red's kind of an intense color. I don't know if I'd put it on my website a time other than maybe, Christmas time, but, whatever makes sense to you. So personal preference there. All right. Let's go ahead and open the floor to open Q&A. If I don't see any questions popping in the chat or the Q&A, I can go into, some other suggestions for website customizations. We can talk a little bit about creating maybe a custom holiday email to go with your custom website. Maybe send out a custom Merry Christmas message to all of your clients in kvCORE. We can talk about that a little bit as well if we're just looking for other fun stuff to demo here today. But I really want to make sure that we have some time to answer your questions. So if you have any questions, please, about anything kvCORE related, it doesn't have to be directly related to the website edits I just did. Please pop those in the chat or the Q&A. Please send custom email to contacts. Okay, someone really wants to see the custom email to contacts. Okay, I'm still keeping an eye on chat and Q&A. If you guys have other questions, make sure to pop those in. But I mentioned when we were talking about some pro tips that we discussed earlier. I'll go ahead, for anyone who was late, I'll pop my agenda in the chat one more time. I make this little agenda sheet for you guys that has links to the support articles, again, to social media. And I usually pop today's or our recording link here as well. So I'll make sure that gets added here. But in my pro tips that I mentioned earlier, besides, setting yourself a little reminder to make sure to readjust your website after the holidays are over. Additionally, we mentioned in that support article, it has all those links to the YouTube videos. If you want to include maybe a video in a custom email, you can use the whole YouTube link and you can share out just a nice little video to your clients. So we'll go ahead and we'll do that option here today. So I've got my website all set up how I like. I've saved my settings. I don't need to do any of that anymore. Michael had a question about Google reviews instead of Zillow. So when you're doing testimonials to kvCORE, just know that it is, you can manually enter testimonials. Your clients can add in their own testimonial. So once I've added in a testimonial here, let's see. Oh, it's under my agent. So sorry here. Under my agent, there is now a testimonial page because I've manually entered some testimonials in here where I can direct people to tell their story. There is not a direct connection to Zillow, not a direct connection to Google reviews. I think we have, I want to say, a YouTube video that does talk about this a little bit because we get that question quite a lot. Let me see if we have a support article on it as well. So there's ways to sync your Google account to kvCORE. That's not quite the same thing. That's not going to give you your reviews. That's if you want to sync your contacts, your calendar, or if you just want to sync your emails to kvCORE. Just know you can connect a Google account. There isn't, I'm not seeing any support article that's specifically about Google reviews here, but I do want to say that we do have a YouTube video about it. And, I've had enough people ask this question that I might reach out to our Done For You services team and see if she can showcase that in another success meetup. So I'm going to make a little note of that. Thank you so much for requesting that because you're not the first person who's asked something similar. And I know there are roundabout ways to do it, but unfortunately, we don't have a support article on that in this time. And can you indicate what the webinar will cover on the title prior to class? I did mention if you're joining these success meetups, if you're looking to know ahead of time what the success meetup topics will be on any given week, each week, usually I think it's Monday, it might be Tuesdays, we post in our Facebook group what the topics are for our success meetups for that given week. So just a little demo. I did show this at the beginning. I apologize if this is repeat information for anyone, but you can see right here on our Facebook page, that Heather, our Done For You Services team member, has posted our kvCORE success topics for this week, and she typically does it every week. So today was about quick and easy holiday updates to your kvCORE website. Wednesdays, as I mentioned, tend to be more advanced. So if this all feels like kind of beginner information for you, I will say Tuesdays and Thursdays, our training team tends to gear the subject matter more so to kvCORE beginners, whereas Wednesdays with Heather, our Done For You Services member, team leader, she tends to cover more advanced topics. So it looks like she's going to be covering date-based campaigns for your top 50. So date-based campaigns, it's a custom campaign you create yourself, a little bit more advanced. And then Thursday is going to be about getting prepped for 2013 with SMART goals. And I believe that's with my fellow trainer, Christina. So there you go. If you ever want to see ahead of time, they are added to our Facebook group, so you know ahead of time what the subject matter is going to be. And then, is API Nation required to do Property Boost? I have not heard that that is a required feature. Property Boost is, just for anyone who's unaware of Property Boost, it's a marketplace offering. It's used to promote your listings and generate new leads. Property Boost is available right here through Marketplace. Typically in your accounts, if you haven't already purchased this, it's going to say learn more. You can click on it to find more information about it. Because I've got it in my demo account, mine's just saying sign in. I wonder if it's going to still, I think if I click sign in, it's going to actually try to have me make a Property Boost. Okay, it's showing a little bit of information here. So you choose your property address here, and it's all connected to kvCORE. There's a couple different price points that you can choose for Property Boost. There is a kind of a base price, which is $45. That'll boost your listing through Facebook for 3 days. Or there's a really nice kind of more advanced package, a newer offering called the Life Cycle Ad, that will actually boost your property for a total of 4 weeks, and it will follow as it indicates the life cycle of that listing. So from when it's just listed to if it goes through an open house, a price reduction, even after it's sold, if it sells within that 4 weeks, and it's going to generate leads throughout that process. Now, this is connected through kvCORE. So any leads you generate through Property Boost should automatically filter in to your kvCORE Smart CRM. And then I believe as well in our marketing tab and our smart campaigns, there are, I want to say, associated Property Boost smart campaigns as well. So it's not only capturing leads, they're automatically loading into your kvCORE Smart CRM, but there is follow-up processes in place as well. I've never heard anything about API Nation being required for Property Boost though. So that's not sure where you got that from, but hopefully that's not something that's an issue. API Nation, I believe, is also available. Yeah, here we go. API Nation integrations is also available through kvCORE. This is handy for syncing third-party leads. You can sync things like Facebook lead ads for free using API Nation. So just because this is listed in the marketplace is not necessarily a tool that you need to purchase. For some of these other third-party sync options, it is something that you would need to pay a little money for. So slight difference there. But because I'm not seeing any other questions, let's go back to my original example. Someone asked about sending out a custom holiday email through kvCORE and including some of those YouTube videos. So let's explore that a little bit with the time that we have left. Again, if you guys have more questions, keep them coming. But I'm going to head on over to the marketing tab, which is really kind of your automation hub. This is where you would go to take advantage of things like smart campaigns. If you wanted to adjust things like your behavioral automation that's coming through your website, maybe you want to personalize those messages. If you want to set up custom emails or text messages to go out on your contacts' birthdays or their home anniversaries, you can do that here from the marketing tab. But for holiday emails, I'm a big fan of the scheduled mass email feature. Now, I could also, there's lots of different places where I could send an email. I could include emails in a smart campaign. I could go to my smart CRM and I could email a bunch of contacts. I could send an email right here from our quick actions drop down menu. But scheduled mass emails, I like for holiday emails. And I will point out that this is a great thing to do at this time of year. If business is a little bit slower, you're finding you have a tiny extra time before the start of the new year. Go ahead and jump in. If you got maybe 20 minutes on the weekend, or, whenever you have available time, maybe now's a good time to create something like a custom holiday email for every holiday of 2023. And you get to choose who you want to receive that email, set the date that it's supposed to send out on, set it and forget it. And you can see here, I've got a couple that I've created. It'll give you a little check mark after it's sent, shows you the date scheduled, what that email subject is, so what the person's seeing in their inbox, specifically who it's being sent out to, the number of contacts that will actually receive it. And if it's already been sent out, you can go and view it. Or if it hasn't been sent yet, you can edit that message, or you can delete it if you change your mind down the road. So I'm going to go ahead and click on schedule email right here. And for a holiday email, there's a couple different ways that I could personalize this. So maybe I have decided, maybe I've saved a filter in my CRM of, specific sphere contacts that should receive messaging, and I can go and select from a saved filter. I don't think I have anything like that in my saved filters. Oh, I do have a holiday email saved filter. This all depends on stuff that you pre-create in your CRM, your smart CRMs, where you would go to save a filter. So if you utilize all those filter tools in the CRM, you can pinpoint what status, what hashtag, if they have an email or a phone number, or you can get really advanced with those filters, and you can save your filter settings. So you can choose from a saved filter. You could just choose from people that have a specific hashtag in kvCORE. Again, if I have any people who are real beginners to kvCORE, get familiar with hashtags. They're your own custom, whatever you like to call it, folders, categories, buckets, labels, tags. It's called hashtags here at kvCORE. It's just how you individually label your contacts. Can be any phrases of your choosing, just no spaces. And, if you want to, before going through this process, if you want to really pinpoint who you're sending, say, a holiday message to, you could go and hashtag contacts with something like holiday, oh, I've got holiday card list in here, holiday newsletter, holiday email, however you'd like to organize these people. So you could save it as a filter or just hashtag them. And I'm losing my voice. Pardon me 1 second here. All right, much better. What's also nice is I can choose by status as well. Now I could choose to just send this message to all of my sphere contacts, or kind of a cool, I don't know if this is a pro tip necessarily, but if I really wanted to, I could check off every single status in my kvCORE account. And that's effectively grabbing every single group of contacts which I have, all my spheres, my prospects, new leads, no matter who they are, I'm including them all in this email. Now, this is really handy. Now, you can send an email in your CRM at any time, but you may notice in your CRM, you can adjust the rows, you can adjust it, you can click on 10 people at a time, 50 people at a time, 100 people at a time. The cap is 250 people at a time. If I've got thousands of people in my database, and I really want to make sure they're all receiving this email. Another reason I like to use that scheduled mass email feature, because I can select all the statuses and effectively select all of my clients. All right, so we've chosen our people. We're sending it out to everybody. We're having a grand old time. We really want to share this holiday spirit with everyone this year. Additionally, I'm going to choose the date that I want it to send out on. So if I'm choosing that this is a Christmas message, I might choose it on the day of Christmas, or, a lot of those people might not be checking their phone that day. Their inbox might be full. Maybe I want to send it out the day before. Something to consider. I'm going to choose that date. And let's see, mass emails from kvCORE goes to clients' junk mail and never gets open. Has that glitch been fixed? I'm sorry that that's what you're experiencing. I do hear some feedback about junk email. Let me go ahead and share a little support article Oh, I think they've just revised this. We had one for tips for avoiding emails going to spam. I think they might have updated to email deliverability. So this is a little infographic, talks about why emails go to spam, ways to prevent it, some spam filter testing, spam checkers, things like that. I'll pop this in the chat for you. So if you feel like you're getting a lot of feedback that emails are going to spam, I might read through this article and see if there's any of these tools that you can use to help. Every once in a while I get that feedback, but it's usually not so bad that everybody's emails is going to spam. And kvCORE, I will mention, even though I'm selecting everybody here, and this could potentially, if I had thousands of people in my CRM, could be going out to lots of people. kvCORE does, I will mention, stagger how these emails are sent. So they send it out in batches. Additionally, to try to help prevent being flagged as spam. So yes, I'm selecting everybody. Yes, I'm ideally choosing a time that this sends out, but just know that there may be a little delay in between, and that's just to avoid being flagged as spam. So I probably don't want to choose kind of the early AM hours. I feel like 10 a.m. is probably a pretty safe time to send out. And then even if they're a little staggered from 10 a.m. and beyond, it's still not going out very late. Now, we do have some pre-created templates in kvCORE. Let me see, I've got some holiday templates here. If I type in the word holiday, you can see all the pre-created options. If you ever want to create your own template in kvCORE to use again and again, just so you know, that's through the Smart Campaigns section. There is a tab for templates where you can create your own to use again and again. We've got a happy New Year's. I think happy holidays are typically the Christmas options. So let me go and I'm going to click on happy holidays 4. We'll see what it says. The subject matter is going to be wishing you a happy holiday. I can edit that if I don't want that to say wishing you a happy holiday. And there we go. We've got a little photo image. It's got some text here. I can personalize this however I want. So I can add an additional text. Where you get really fancy and advanced with this is if I want to add in other content and things like that. So if I click on this content button, this is where I could do something like include maybe a video instead. So maybe I want to delete this image. So I clicked on the image, I'm hitting that little delete button. It's asking, are you sure you want to do that? Yes. And maybe instead of an image, I want to add a video in here. So I'm going to grab this. I'm going to drag it on in here. I want it to be above. I feel like I should have dragged it in there first. So sorry. I'll go and I'll adjust this. There we go. So drag it right above the text that you want to add in there. And then I'm just adding in a video URL. So again, if you've got that handy guide open that we used earlier for your background video, you can just use these links, whichever one you like. So I did really like that wishing you a prosperous new year. So maybe I'm going to use that URL link, go back to kvCORE. I want to ask me to add in a URL. I'm just going to pop that in there for us. And there we go. It's all added in there and it's ready to go basically. So different content I could add in as well. There we go. It saved it. So now we've got our little video added in there for them. If I would rather personalize it with a video, you could use other photo images. You can add in social media content, HTML coding if you really wanted to. Buttons are kind of cool. Let me just drag a button in here just so I can explain kind of some of the button options here. There we go. I added a button here. We'll go play around with the button properties. What's kind of cool with a button is it could be a URL link. You could be linking them somewhere, maybe you want to link them back to your website. Maybe you've added a custom page about a holiday event or something to that extent, a charity that they can donate to. Possibilities are endless, but that's just web page options. What's kind of cool with these buttons is you could also do that when they click that button, that they're sending an email or making a call or sending a text message. So you can include the cell phone number that they're sending the text message to and the message that they're doing. So you can have, hey, click this button to send me I don't know why you do it in a holiday purpose. I'm kind of grabbing random straws here, but just send a holiday message back. Something like that. Really, ideally, this button would probably be more useful in things like if you're trying to get people to respond, maybe sign up for, a walkthrough on a listing or an open house or something to that extent. So, but different ways to use it, just some cool options. I will point out we are in the advanced email editor. There is a basic editor. That's usually what's going to open when you first start creating a scheduled mass email. It's going to open in the basic editor. But because I grabbed a pre-created template that had a photo image, whenever you're adding photo images to your emails, it kind of automatically puts you in the advanced editor tool where I'm seeing all these additional content options. So just a little contrast, just so you know, it's going to default when you first open schedule mass email to the basic editor. So this looks like any email you'd send out anywhere, pretty straightforward with the font and things like that. It's the advanced editor that has all those extra kind of bonus tools. So if you're adding in things like videos or social media links or custom content, things like that. So there we go. There we have it. Oh, let me go and since I dropped that, I'm just going to go and grab another one. I won't create it all from scratch and make you guys watch, but holiday, I went and I grabbed, holidays for, feel free to click the other messages so you can preview them all beforehand. If this is what I really want it to say, I also have the ability, one more toggle down here, include my agent signature on there. Always a good idea. If you've added in your signature through your kvCORE profile, that's the signature that would populate at the end of this email. Always recommend having your signature so they know your contact information, include maybe a link to your kvCORE website in your signature. Whenever possible, we want to drive people back to our websites. So feel free to include that signature there. And I'm just going to hit the schedule button. And it's going to refresh my whole page. There we go. I have this happy, I grabbed a happy new year. Oh, there we go. Wishing a happy holiday. I've got them out of order. I've already created a new year message in here. So here's that one I just created, wishing you a happy holiday. This is my Christmas one. It's showing me how many contacts it estimates will have this message sent to them. And of course I can go back and edit it if I need to. All right. I think that's just about everything I have here today for you guys. If you don't have any other questions, I'll just kind of wrap it up with some reminders about various resources and the ways that you have to learn your kvCORE platform. I know I've posted them in the chat a million times. Again, if you want a deep dive on anything we talked about here today, how to adjust things in your website settings, or if you're just looking for that step-by-step guide for falling snow and your background video, it's all included here. Additionally, if you have issues with sizing up images, maybe you tried to add a photo image rather than a video here, I've included a guide for that. I've included a guide about scheduled mass email here for you guys. You could even create yourself a little task reminder to remind yourself to take down that falling snow. I'll give myself as an example here. I could do this through the CRM, or I could do it from quick actions. Maybe I want to add a task. Pro tip here, I always like to have a test lead in kvCORE for multiple reasons. Just if I want to make sure something's functioning correctly, if I want to kind of preview a message before I send it out to other people. But I also like it just sometimes if I want to, create a task reminder and I don't want to assign it to someone else. No one's else going to see that task reminder. But it's just a little reminder to me when I see my name on that task reminder. Oh, this is a reminder just for myself and no one else. So I think I've got myself here as a test lead. There we go. I've got a couple of myself here. I'm going to add myself in there, and task reminder, remove falling snow and holiday website video. There we go. I'll go and I'll choose a time. Maybe I'm deciding I'm going to have it all the way up until the 30th. Sure, noon's a great time. I'm assigning it to myself, and there we go, add the task. And then now I'm going to have that task as a little reminder in my little checklist here. Ignore my past dues. This is a demo account. I save all those just to give as examples. Hopefully you guys don't have any past due tasks in your account. But there we go, under upcoming. I can check it here. You can also view your tasks in the kvCORE mobile app, or I can view it right here on the dashboard as well. So I can view my upcoming tasks here as well. Just a little reminder to myself to make sure I'm taking that back down. If you're looking for more live webinar content, I will remind you, feel free to take advantage of our kvCORE live webinar calendar. We love to see you join us at all of our various webinars. Additionally, if you're a beginner with kvCORE and you're looking for a great place to start, highly recommend our Agent Quick Start course. If you have questions specific to your account, you're seeing a bug, you're having issues with anything kvCORE related, just know you can always access our support team. I like to grab them through this little chat bubble down in the bottom right-hand corner. They are available through chat 7 days a week, or you can simply send them an email, kvcore@insiderealestate.com. I'm definitely a big advocate of the chat. I feel like the response time, they really work to get chat down very quick. So I find that chat's a little bit faster if I need to reach support than email, but you can reach them from anywhere. And of course, we've got support articles available through this chat widget, or I also pointed out through support and training. So if you didn't bookmark them here today, just know you can find them for yourself pretty easily through our support center. All right, I think that's all I have to share here today. I want to thank you guys again so much for joining me. I hope this was helpful. I hope you had fun. And I hope you guys all take advantage of what you learned here today and personalize your own kvCORE websites for the holidays. And of course, have wonderful holidays yourself. Take care, everyone. Thank you so much.